Libya, what pops into your head? Probably sand. Lots and lots of sand. Maybe some confusing news headlines. Well, hold on to your hats, people, because Libya is not just a sandy spot. It is a place with a history so long. It makes your grandpa's stories seem short. Seriously, it's epic. This isn't some new kid on the block. No, Libya has been around for ages. Think ancient civilizations, real ones. Think empires rising and dramatically falling, like a really, really long TV series with more plot twists than you can imagine. It's seen it all, so why should you care? That's a fair question. Libya's story, it's actually important. It tells us about power and people. It tells us how history shapes today, and honestly, it's just fascinating stuff. We're going on a quick trip now, a very quick trip through Libyan time. Think of it as history speed dating, from ancient empires to modern messes. Buckle up. Let's rewind. Way back in time, the original inhabitants were the Berbers. They are the indigenous people of North Africa. They knew this land like their own backyard. They were tough, they were resilient, and guess what? They are still around. Then came the sailors. The Phoenicians, great traders of the sea. They set up shop along the Libyan coast, building ports, making deals. Then the Greeks arrived. They founded places like Cyrene, full of impressive temples and philosophers. And then, drumroll please, the Romans? Yes, Romans, with the legions. Libya became a Roman province. It supplied Rome with tons of grain and olive oil. Think of it as Rome's giant sandy breadbasket. They left amazing ruins. Leptis Magna, gorgeous. But empires don't last forever. The Roman Empire started to wobble and crumble. Then came the Vandals. They weren't exactly known for their gentle touch. After them, the Byzantines tried to hold on. It was a bit of a messy period, to be honest. Libya was waiting for its next chapter. So after the Romans and their friends left, a power arrived. In the 7th century, Arab armies came. They brought with them a new religion, Islam, and a new language, Arabic. This was a huge turning point for Libya. It shaped the culture in profound ways. Fast forward a few centuries, but let's jump ahead to the Ottoman Empire. Libya became part of their vast, sprawling empire for about 400 years, give or take a decade. Sometimes their rule was tight, sometimes loose. Libya often did its own thing, sometimes with pirates. Then in the early 20th century, a new player, Europe, was having a bit of a land grab. Italy, wanting its own shiny empire, looked south. They saw Libya. So Italy invaded and colonized Libya. This was not a friendly holiday visit, it was brutal. The Libyans fought back hard, but Italy stayed for a few decades, and then came World War II. It became a major battleground. The desert fox, Rommel, was there. British forces fought Axis powers across the sands. Tanks rolled across the desert, explosions everywhere. Imagine your backyard becoming a massive war zone, not ideal for a quiet afternoon cup of tea. After World War II, things changed. Libya finally got its independence. Yes, in 1951, it became a kingdom under King Idris, a brand new nation full of hope and dreams, but also very poor. Running a country is hard. Then guess what happened in 1959? They found oil, lots of oil. Suddenly, Libya went from poor to rich. Money started flowing in like a river. The country began to transform rapidly. Then, in 1969, a young army officer appeared. His name was Muammar Gaddafi. He led a military coup out with the king. And in came Gaddafi. He had big ideas. He even wrote a green book with his thoughts. It was the start of a long, strange, eventful era. Gaddafi ruled for over 40 years. He called Libya the Jamahiriya, which meant state of the masses, though how much the masses actually decided, debatable. Life under Gaddafi was complex. There was development, new buildings, infrastructure, and repression. He supported various causes around the world, often very controversial ones. It was certainly never dull. Then came 2011, the year of the Arab Spring. Protests swept across the Middle East and North Africa, and they reached Libya. People wanted change. What started as protests became a full-blown civil war. It was intense. NATO got involved with airstrikes, and after months of bitter fighting, Gaddafi's long rule came to a very violent end. So Gaddafi was gone. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. Libya fractured. Different groups fought for power. It became very messy. Today, in 2025, Libya is still working hard, working to find stability, working towards peace. There are still many challenges ahead. Different governments, various militias, outside influences. It's a tough situation. The Libyan people have been through so much. They deserve a peaceful and prosperous future. So that was Libya in about 5 minutes. We barely scratched the surface. There's so much more to learn about its rich culture, its resilient people, its art, its incredibly long and deeply complex history. So don't just take my word for it. Thanks.